everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I am actually doing a little bit of a challenge video which I have been wanting to do for a while now. Recently, well not so recently, but earlier Drawing with Waffles uploaded a video where she basically did an artwork using every single purple art supply she owned. And as soon as she did that, I really wanted to do the same thing but with yellow. But I couldn't do it at the time because I didn't really own many yellow art supplies, and if I was to do an artwork then using yellow art supplies, I would not have a very good variety. So I actually waited a little bit until I was able to order a bunch of markers that I had already been planning to order. And yeah, this is basically me finally getting around to doing that artwork. So as you can see, I am using a mixture of Copic markers. I'm also using some oil pastels, a soft pastel, as well as two yellow acrylic paints. One is a sort of darker yellow ochre and the other is a yellow light color. I am also using a gold Sharpie, some Liquitex gold metallic ink, a few little yellow and sort of yellowy orangey colored pencils, as well as a Crayola marker. The funny thing is I'm also using my watercolors in this too. I only had one yellow in the new set that I have, so I actually got out my old set, which is slightly less quality. However, I decided I wanted to use those as well since I did have some yellows in that. So as you can see, I am sketching out my artwork now, and I wanted to do a sort of illustration of a young girl. I'm not sure if that's me or if it's just a young girl, I'm not sure. Anyways, and she is surrounded by a whole bunch of yellow stuff. Now the reason I actually decided to use yellow is because yellow is one of my favorite colors other than purple. Now Drawing with Waffles herself did purple, so I was obviously going to do the other color that I love. And yeah, the main reason I love yellow so much is because yellow is a very happy and sunny kind of color, and I guess that kind of mirrors myself because I like to think of myself as happy and all that kind of stuff. And I also love yellow because of Pikachu himself, and you know, I just really like that color. So as you can see, I am now lining the artwork using my yellow pencil. It's not exactly a yellow color. I was a little bit lenient with this. However, I'm using my gold metallic pencil, which if you think about it, gold is pretty much a dark yellow. Now, some people may think I cheated or failed with this. However, if you Google dark yellow, a lot of the matches come up as colors that I have used here. And if you Google very pale yellow, like this, those colors come up as well. So, to be honest, I think that my color choices were valid. So yeah, I basically just drew me or a young girl, I'm not sure, surrounded by a whole bunch of yellow stuff. Now this includes obviously Pikachu and Pichu, my two favorite Pokemon. Also some sunflowers with slightly cute, slightly creepy faces on them, some stars, a golden snitch, and the golden key from Harry Potter, as well as SpongeBob, some Macca's fries, some daffodils, some stars, some bananas, some cheese, and a little ducky. Now as you can see, I am finally getting into the coloring part of this illustration. Now I started off with some very light colors for her pants, and then I went in with some dark colors for her hair. Now some of the colors I used were YG 00 Mimosa Yellow. I also used Yellow 28, and I also used Yellow 38 Honey. Other than that, I used a Yellow Ochre, Cadmium Yellow, Mustard, golden yellow. I also used a very light color called YR Quad 0, that's yellow red quad 0, And I also used yellow 23, yellowish beige. And I also used acid yellow, pale yellow, buttercup yellow, so many yellows. I wonder how many times I've said yellow in this video. Anyways, I had a few troubles with this illustration, mainly getting a lot of contrast. Now, I knew from the start that yellow was probably going to be the most difficult color to choose because yellow itself is a very light, very saturated color. And of course, I still wanted to add some little parts here which were darker and desaturated. Now, I think getting those markers, mainly Liquitex Gold and Mustard, was a very good idea because they just, I don't know, they add a little bit more something to this illustration, I think. So yeah, I mainly used a mixture of markers for coloring in, and I also used my watercolor pencil here and there, as you can see. And I also used my Crayola marker for little bits here and there, as well as oil pastels. Now, I don't often use oil pastels, except I do own them and I have done one video on them. I don't really get why so many people hate oil pastels, to be honest. I actually prefer them over soft chalky pastels. I know that's probably an unpopular opinion anyways. Anyways, I actually decided to use my gold Liquitex ink, mainly because it is a very bright yellowy gold, and I wanted this artwork to be so shiny. So I actually used that gold on the key and the golden snitch, obviously, and I also used it on Pikachu and Pichu's cheeks because I could not use red, and yeah. After that, I added some watercolor splashes here and there, mainly because I really love that look and I don't really use it that often anymore. And yeah, it just adds a little something, and of course I had to use those yellow watercolors for something in this illustration. After that, I decided to get out my yellow soft chalky pastel, which I do find interesting to use, but to be honest, they are very messy. And I basically just got my craft knife and shaved off a little bit, and then used that as a sort of vignette effect around the corners. And because it's very, very soft and smudgy, I was able to get a really nice little gradient type thing, which added so much more vibrance and luminosity to this artwork. So I'm actually really glad I did that, even though I'm not overly fond of chalk pastels. After that, I used my yellow acrylic paints, now the light yellow and the yellow ochre, just to add some little touch-ups here and there and slight highlights and that kind of thing. And yeah, this artwork is mostly done. Now, I wasn't sure how this artwork was going to go, obviously, but to be honest, I think I am very pleased with the results. Let me know below if you like this illustration and what you think of it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit that little bell icon so you're notified when I'm uploading. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!